Hello and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Mary and welcome to another Craft Day Wednesday, where every Wednesday I post a new video. In today's video, I am going to be showing you how I made this little gnome bed for my little gnome. And here it is. This is what it looks like. So basically what I used for this video to make the little bed was I used some paneling. And it's just scrap wood that we had laying around the house. So you're going to need some scrap wood, but you can use any kind of wood that you have on hand. Does not have to be the same kind I'm using. This is just what I happen to have. And these pieces, the longer pieces, which is going to be the frame of the bed, these are 7 inches long. The headboard is 5.5 inches long. The footboard is 5 inches long. I also have some scrap foam that I'm going to be using for my mattress. And what I'm going to be using for the bedding is an old pair of blue jeans that I cut the legs off of. And these came from a thrift store. So, yeah. And you're going to need a pair of scissors. You're going to need wood glue and or hot glue. But I am most likely going to be using both for this video. And I am going to go ahead and turn my camera down so we can just get into the video. So first thing I'm going to do is bring my pieces. And we're going to be using 4. And what we're going to do is we're just going to take these two and we're going to stack them on each other just like this. I'm going to move these out the way. I'm just going to grab my wood glue. Just going to peel that little piece off. And we're just going to go ahead. I'm going to turn this way, making sure everything matches up. And I'm going to go ahead and put some wood glue on. Set that there. And then we're just going to go ahead and we're just going to take our piece and we're just going to put it down on top, just like this. And I'm just going to slide this to the side and allow that to dry. So here is our foam piece that we have for our mattress. And I'm just going to double that. And I'm just going to use this as a template. And we're just going to go ahead and cut out around this. So now we're going to have 2. So I'm just going to go ahead, cut. Turn it over and cut again. Set that to the side. So now we have 2 and we're just going to stack them together. So now that we have our 2, we're going to go ahead and stack these together. And I'm going to be using a different type of glue also. This is optional. If you want to use this, you can, because you can't, if you put hot glue on this, it's going to melt. So I am going to be using, it's called Quick Grip, all purpose. And I'm just going to go ahead and put a little on here. Now I'm going to put my lid back, stick that there, and we're just going to take this and we're just going to put it right down on top, just like this. And like I said, this is going to be this is going to serve as our mattress. And it's going to go right on top, just like that. But now we're going to go ahead and this is where we're going to use the hot glue. And I would normally use wood glue for this part, but since it's for the video purposes. I'm going to use the hot glue because it dries faster. So I am just going to go ahead, grab my hot glue, and we're just going to put a good amount right on the edge. Grab a glue stick. I'm just going to go ahead, stick this down through here. Make sure everything is nice and lined up. And now what we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and we're just going to stick this right here. And I'm going to go up a little bit just to make sure everything is nice and even. Because once you glue this in place, you're not going to be able to take it out again. Now that we have that, we're going to go ahead and grab our other piece. And we're just going to see about where we want it. So now that we have this one glued in place, we're going to go ahead and grab our hot glue, and we're just going to put a good amount on this end also. And we're just going to go ahead and line this up. And I'm just going to push here, make sure everything is nice and even. And this is what we have. And now we're going to grab our mattress and we're just going to go ahead and put that in place. So now that we have our bed put together, let's grab our mattress and we're just going to go ahead and stick this down on here just like that. And I am going to use hot glue for this part because it's going to be on the bottom. So even if it melts a little bit, no one's going to see it. So I'm putting some hot glue right down on top. And we're just going to go ahead, stick this right down on there just like this. Give it a little bit of a press. Make sure it's nice and sealed. And so far, this is what we have. Trying to adjust. There we go. So this is what we have. Now, I am going to go ahead and set this to the side. And I am going to bring those jeans that we talked about that I have here. I'm going to grab my scissors. And I'm just going to go ahead and cut off a little bit of the leg. Set that there. And now I'm just going to go ahead, cut this long ways like this. I'm going to save that part and I'm just going to go up, cut it here, come down, cut it this way. Set that to the side, and I'm just going to go ahead and put this like this, and I'm just going to measure everything out before I glue anything in place. So let's bring this back, and I'm just going to go ahead and trim this end up the best I can. So now what you want to do is just kind of play around with it. So I took my cut piece of the leg from my blue jean, I turned it inside out and just put it on top of my little mattress just to cover that up a little bit. So this would serve as your fitty sheet. Okay, and now I'm going to set this back off to the side, and I'm going to grab the other blue jean that I have here, and I'm going to leave it just as is, I think, and I'm just going to put it over the top like this, and I'm going to go ahead and mark about where I want to cut it. So what I'm doing, I'm just going to hold it here. I'm just going to grab my scissors. And I'm just going to push this to the side, and I'm just going to bring this over very carefully. I'm going to try to cut as straight as possible. I'm going to bring this back before I glue anything in place. So I'm happy with the way it looks. So what I'm going to do is grab my hot glue, and I'm just going to go ahead and just where the opening is here, I'm just going to put some hot glue on it. And I'm going to turn it inside out. And I'm going to just go ahead and put some hot glue right on the, just to seal the ends. So I'm just going along the edge. And I'm just going to go ahead, seal this off, just like that. Getting a little hot glue off my table. Now, making sure that's nice and sealed. And I'm going to put a little bit right here. Turn it back. So we're going to go ahead and add our top layer, our blanket, or comforter, or whatever you want to call it. This is going to go on top, just like this. Now I'm going to set that to the side. Let me see here. I'm going to bring my other part of the blue jean, which is the leg part, and I'm just going to go ahead and cut this here. Let's see here. Actually, let's do it this way. Actually, I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to go ahead and cut this like this. This is how crafting goes. You have one ideal in your head, and then you get to messing around with it, and then you figure out, hey, this may work even better. So I'm going to try something else. So I'm just going to cut this. And I'm just going to fold this over. And see how I like this. So I'm going to go ahead and cut these ends off. Cut this one off. Fold this. And I'm just going to fold it one more time. So I'm going to grab some hot glue. And I'm going to put a bead of hot glue right down through here, just like this. Making sure everything is nice and even. And now I'm just going to go ahead and fold this over, just like this. And we're just going to fold and glue this end down. And now we have our little blanket or thrower, whatever you want to call it. I'm not exactly sure, but sometimes I get cold, like in the middle of the night or something, and I keep a little blanket that I fold up on the end of the bed, and if I get cold, I'll just reach down there and pull it up. So, yeah, I'm going to stick that there. And then this is going to go down over the top just like this. So we have this. And if you don't want to use that, you can totally leave that off. Now we're going to set that to the side, and we're going to work on our little pillows, which we're also going to be using these for that. So I have some more of that foam that we're going to be using for the pillow, and I'm just going to go ahead and just add a little bit of hot glue. And I'm using a low tip this time, that way it won't melt on me. And even if it melts, it's just going to be a very little. And I'm just going to put a little bit here. And I'm just going to hold this here until that dries. And I'm going to grab a glue stick. And I'm just going to go ahead and finish sealing it off. So now I'm just going to go ahead and put this in here just to see what it's going to look like. I'm not going to glue anything in place just yet. So I'm just going to go like this. And before I glue anything, I want to see how well this is going to fit. So I need to make this a little bit wider. So now that I have enough material for my pillow cut, I'm just going to go ahead and wrap it. So I'm going to put some hot glue right on the fabric. And then we're just going to very carefully bring it over, making sure that you don't burn your fingers. And now I'm just going to go ahead and fold it over and continue to work on wrapping it. So make sure you got some hot glue. We're just going to go ahead very carefully, fold this over just like this. I'm going to go ahead, pick where I want to cut. I'm going to cut here. And we're going to do the same thing to the other side. Grab my glue, seal it. Other side. Make sure everything is nice and sealed. And this is going to be the biggest pillow for the gnome bed. And I was asked to do this video by one of the members in a crafting group that I'm in. So we're just going to stick that there. I'm going to fold this down like this. And this is what we have so far. I'm going to go ahead and do 2 more pillows. So we're going to take our foam that we have here. And we have some here. And I'm just going to go ahead and cut these like this. And I'm just going to cut a little more off. And I'm just going to do the same thing with this one. So we have 2. And I'm just making sure everything is nice and even. And I'm going to cut 1 more. I'm going to go ahead and move this out of the way. Grab some hot glue. I'm just going to put it right there on top. I've changed my gun to a low temp. So I switched over. And so my foam won't melt so much. I'm just going to put this right on top. So now we have 2. And I'm just going to trim off a little bit because one is a little bit bigger than the other. There we go. Now we're going to grab those. And I'm just going to go ahead, put some hot glue right here, just like this. And I'm just going to go ahead, get up, fold it over like this. And I'm just going to cut off the extra. And then we're just going to pull it. Put some hot glue right here. I'm going to pull it up and over and tuck. Just like this. And I'm just going to go ahead and cut the extra. And we're going to do this one the very same way. So just cut off the extra. Squeeze a little in. Very carefully. Pinch to seal the ends. Same thing on the other side. Put some hot glue down through here. Pinch. And now we're going to do this one. So I'm just going to go ahead, put a little bit of hot glue here. Fold it over like this. Put a little bit right here. Down through here. Fold this over like this. And I'm just going to leave that and just add a little bit of hot glue just to seal it off. Go ahead, seal this with some hot glue. And we are almost finished. Same thing, the other side. Cut this off. Over here. Move that. I'm going to bring the bed back, and I am just going to go ahead and place my pillows. So there's this one and that one. Now, last thing I'm going to do is put a little bit of hot glue down through here just to close this off. I'm going to wipe any extra away. Going to continue to go down and glue this. And there we have it. Now let's go ahead and put the bed back together. So this was to serve as the mattress. There's our pillow. We're going to grab our blanket, tuck it down, stick this over the top, and we're just going to go ahead and put our little pillows in. And here is our little gnome bed. And I also made a gnome to go in my bed. So let's pull this up. Here is my little gnome. I have a few videos on showing how I made the gnome, but if y'all wanted to see how I made this one, let me know in the comment box below, and I will do a tutorial on how I made this little gnome to sleep in the little bed. So I'm just going to go ahead and tuck him in. Let's put him here. Grab his little blankie. Stick that there. And then we have our little pillow. And should we give him a little bag of Doritos? And there you have it. Here is our little gnome bed. Let's take him back out and go ahead and put this back. So here it is. And I'll show you the other one. And here is our other one. Go ahead, put the pillows on. There we have that one. Here's one. And here is the other. So here they are. I'm going to go ahead and turn my camera up so you can see. So yeah, that was it. Once again, here's our little bed. Just made from scrap wood stuff. You don't really have to go out of the house and buy for this project. If you like this video, please give me a like and a thumbs up. Please feel free to share this video with family and friends. If you are not already subscribed, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I would love for you to become part of my YouTube family. And yeah, and like I mentioned before, if y'all want to see how I made this little gnome that fits right in the palm of my hand, just let me know. I would be more than happy to do a video on it for y'all. And so yeah, with that being said, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to watch one of my videos. That really means a lot. And yeah, thank you again, and I hope you all have a very nice day. Bye.